Do you remember how we met?
Of course I remember how we met. Why wouldn't I?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
Well, hello. You were always coming to class late.
I was? No,
Always.
I wasn't.
Every instructor always knew who Bridgewater was because he always came in late. Luis Bridgewater.
Nah, that's a lie.
It's true.
Okay, fine. So
Yes.
how did it all happen, according to you?
Back in 2003. That's when I met you.
You remember the year?
Of course I remember the year.
And the month?
October of 2003.
Oh my gosh, it is true. Girls do remember everything.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And we were in computer class.
Computer class? Who's the instructor?
Sabette.
Oh my gosh, that's true.
And I really noticed you because when you would come to class late, I could hear like rustling in your backpack. And I was always curious what was in there. And so when you would take out your notebook, I noticed you had a bag of food in there.
Oh, so you noticed the food, not necessarily me.
Both. And then we didn't start talking until you rescued me from my computer. It was malfunctioning. So you came over and you sat next to me and you fixed it.
Okay.
And then we started talking. And then you let me see what was in your backpack. And there was a humongous torta. Mm-hmm.
And before I knew it, I had no lunch.
No, you willingly shared your lunch.
I did?
You did.
Why would I do that?
Because you wanted a girlfriend.
I did?
Be nice.
Okay, fine.
So from then on we started talking, and lo and behold we ended up working together in Library Link.
That's true.
Yeah, on campus. So and then we just started hanging out together.
That's right. Things just happened.
Mm-hmm.
I remember our dates were more like going
Dinner
to
breaks.
Yeah, like 15-minute break that we used to get, and we would go to
Carl's Jr.
And get those
famous star cheeseburger.
Yeah.
With a cup of free water.
Yeah.
2 cups of free water.
Hey, we were starving students, you know.
Exactly. And then we just...
Hey, remember we would get Chris Scott fries? They were good.
They were really good. With like 20 packets of ketchup.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
for you.
Well, I do love ketchup.
That's true. And yeah, then we just started dating.
Yeah.
But that's what you call it, going to Carl's Jr. And then next thing you know, lo and behold, you asked me to be your girlfriend, and I miraculously said yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember where that happened?
The library.
The library where?
Mm-hmm. On top of the roof.
On the roof.
Of all places.
I know.
That's like stalker status right there. But it was good.
Hey, you like the stalker.
No.
Oh, sorry. It was more like the serial killer. Well, it's Cheerios every day, and okay, fine. It could be Frosted Flakes here and there.
Cheerios.
Cheerios, yeah. Well, so much for the serial killer. I kill every day.
Your cereal. But that's how we met. Yeah, and then we would just... Here we are 6 years later. Took him 6 years.
Yeah.
But it was well worth the wait.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Then we just continued.
Just continue to bring me yummy food.
Yeah, they say that you not really conquer men through their stomach, right? But I got to you through your stomach.
Yes. You wooed me with the food.
Yeah. And then it was only after like a couple months later that you saw me for me instead of for my food.
Not true. Not true. I saw your wonderful qualities. Your kindness. Your honesty.
Oh, it was really the food.
Okay, the food. The food was the icing on the cake. And everything just worked out. Perfect, you know? You were my match. You are my match.